Here we go, back at it yet again with another video. G'day guys, I'm Champ Chong, and yes, I am still a cripple. Yes, I'm still on my crutches. It sucks. Not the best news, it's a grade 3 calf tear, so I'm probably not going to be walking for quite a while, which really sucks. I can sort of stand here and there, but it's really painful. So just wanted to update you guys on that. If you want to make me feel a little bit better, because I am not in a positive spirit at all, just simply smack that like button real good, and yeah, to make me feel a little bit better. But we do have some gaming news to talk about today, and there's some sad news, there's some good news, there's some interesting news, and then there's some ridiculous news from EA. But the first thing we are going to talk about is the next generation of consoles, being the PlayStation 5 and the Project Xbox Scarlett. So the sad news we are talking about regarding the next generation of consoles is that Platinum Games boss said that the PlayStation 5 and the next-gen Xbox, the Project Scarlett, is more of the same. If you don't know, Platinum Games are the development studio behind the Bayonetta games, so he is actually the head of Bayonetta development. But the thing is, he doesn't seem to be excited by any of the new consoles. He just thinks that they're going to be more of the same. Here is a quote directly from him. "It's okay, and by that I mean I'm sure that things will move faster, graphics will be better, and maybe it will be easier with less wait times. That's good for the consumer. But it's more of the same, quite frankly, compared to the previous generations. It's nothing that's disruptive or super innovative, if you ask me." He also went on to talk about how game consoles formerly featured custom chips that were not possible on PC, but today, now you look at it and they're just grabbing stuff that already exists. He even talked about the Nintendo Switch, how it uses a Tegra chip and it was actually in systems before, even though it's been slightly altered now. And then the PS5 and Project Scarlett will be using sort of custom chips from AMD, and they're going to be basically the same in the end. And he went on and on about basically how everything is just more of the same and nothing's going to be too exciting. And that kind of worries me, but I don't worry too much. And the reason I don't is because I trust what they're doing also on the software end of things. It's also going to be a collaboration between software and hardware. Sure, you can build a PC that's going to be very similar, but at the end of the day, for $400 to $500, you are not going to get a PC this powerful that's going to run games this smoothly. It's just not going to be a reality. So there is a reason to get these new consoles when they come out, even though they're not going to be all that crazy different. And I actually agree with him that graphics won't be a massive upgrade, like if you remember from PS2 to PS3 or even PS3 to PS4. Because the thing is, if you look at it, we do have the PS4 Pro and we do have the Xbox One X, and those were kind of semi-generational jumps, and it gave us a little bit of a leap and a look forward to the future. So it's not going to be something that's going to shock and awe us right away, but things will obviously look better, games will run better, it'll load faster, there'll be things like that, and it'll just be a better overall experience. So sure, this is kind of sad news because it is a developer who has actually worked on the systems. They are working on them right now, building their own games for them using the dev kits. And sure, I believe him because he is a head developer, but I don't know. I just don't want to take that. I don't want to be that sad. I'm already sad about my leg. You know, it's more depressing news. But let me know what you guys think about that. And we've actually got some more next-gen news, and let's get to it right now. So this one here is actually some pretty cool news. So if you are planning to get a PS5, you will know now that it will load games faster. We kind of already know that, but this is really cool because there has been a new trademark and patent office filing that has been placed by Sony in the United States. So this patent right here, as you can see on screen, is basically a visual representation of how it's going to split a game into various segments, and then it's going to be preloading all the areas and then move players into different parts of the map. It's really confusing, but basically it's going to load things in such a weird way, kind of like a jigsaw puzzle, so that you don't have to wait and wait and wait for a game to load. It's just going to load it into segments and kind of just put it all together, and you won't even notice it because it'll be going so quickly and so fast that it's just going to give you a seamless experience. And I think this is really cool that this has been spotted on the actual United States Patent and Trademark Office. And this happened on Tuesday, so it was only a couple of days ago, and that right there is awesome news. Now, to actually read and describe this specifically, let me read it for you guys. A system and method are disclosed for dynamically loading game software for smooth gameplay. A load boundary associated with a game environment is identified. A position of a character in the game environment is then monitored. Instructions corresponding to a next game environment are loaded into a memory when the character crosses the load boundary, such that gameplay is not interrupted. And that right there is the most important part. There won't be any interruptions. This is for the PlayStation 5, and I can't believe that it's going to be this seamless. I can't wait to actually see this happen in person. I can't wait to no longer have load screens, because they were always kind of loaded in the background for specific games, and that was amazing. But then you play other games, and it was just a mess, and you kind of have to wait there like it's 1997 for a good 5 minutes, and it was awful. But for games like, the first game I actually remember doing this was way back. It was Max Payne on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. If you guys remember that, it was a Rockstar game. That game would load stuff in the background. It was the first game that I truly saw do this, and I haven't really seen too many games do it since the way that did it. That was just beautiful and seamless. And it's great to see this becoming a more of a mainstream thing with a lot of games and the future of consoles. Let me know what you guys think about that. That's just awesome. We've got some patent news right there. It's official stuff. You get to see it. It's writing. It's actual like pictures. It's amazing. So yeah, let's move on to the next piece of gaming news. And it's something I may actually dive deeper into probably in a video or two later down the line, maybe later this week. I'm not 100% sure. But it's some news reports actually stating that the PlayStation 5 is definitively more powerful than the Xbox Project Scarlett, according to dev kit users. According to former IGN editor Colin Moriarty, the PlayStation 5 is definitively more powerful than Project Scarlett. Moriarty made the claim on his podcast, Sacred Symbols, while talking about the prior rumor from Game Informer's Andrew Reiner. So, Andrew Reiner actually said this earlier in the week, or probably around E3 time, actually. So, this news has been kind of floating around for a while, but they've been elaborating this, and I actually have a theory about this. So, if you don't know, the Xbox Project Scarlett actually has two systems. So there's going to be, I forget what they're called right now off the top of my head, I don't have them with me right now, but there's going to be an entry-level system, kind of like a core system, and there's going to be a hardcore system. So one is going to be a little less powerful, kind of like an Xbox One, and the other is going to be like an Xbox One X, and or if you're unaware, or like a PlayStation 4 and a PlayStation 4 Pro, just to clarify things. So there will be two versions of the Xbox Next Generation console, the Project Scarlett. So that's probably why they've kind of figured out as to the PlayStation 5 development kit being more powerful than the Xbox Project Scarlett development kit, is maybe they're using the entry-level version of the Xbox. They haven't really clarified this in here at all, so they don't probably even know which one they're using, if they're using the more expensive or the cheaper version of the next-gen system from Microsoft. So it's interesting to see this, but I'm not going to get too disappointed or like really dive too deep into this, because I believe it's more of a thing that they've only experienced one system. Because when you do look at the hardware that has been released online regarding the Xbox One Project Scarlett, the Xbox Project Scarlett, you do have to take in that it is very, very similar to the hardware that's listed for the PlayStation 5. So they're very, very, very similar, yet how is one going to be definitively more powerful than the other when if on paper they're pretty much the same? I don't see how that's a realistic option, how that's a realistic thing that they've come to, a conclusion. It's going to be really, at the end of the day, in 2020, November, December time, when we really find out which one is more powerful. We're going to have to do side-by-side comparisons for multi-platform games, for how things load up, and just things along those lines. So, yeah, I'm not going to get too into this right now. I may look further into this if we do get some more news, and I'll do a full video on that. But in the meantime, I don't want to get too far into that. So let's move on to the next piece of gaming news. And it's actually coming from EA Games, because, oh boy, this is real. If you guys see this on screen right here, EA stated they're not loot boxes, they're surprise mechanics, and they're quite ethical. As you guys know, everybody hates EA's implementation of loot boxes. Everyone pretty much just bags on it and jumps on it and just flames it. So the thing is, Kerry Hopkins, who is EA's Vice President of Legal and Government Affairs, insists that the company's randomized purchases aren't loot boxes, but rather surprise mechanics. Oh, that sounds like a joke. I thought this was just a complete troll website at first. But it's a real statement. And then on top of that, in oral evidence session with the UK Parliament's Digital, Culture, Media and Sport Committee, Hopkins compares the mechanics to surprise toys which have been around for years, whether it's Kinder Eggs or Hatchimals or LOL Surprises. They go on and talk about more gambling related stuff, the Australian Gambling Commission, and even other things along those lines. Especially the Dutch and Belgian governments, they are super against this, and a lot of EA games are very different in those countries because you can't have loot boxes against the law. And the thing is, the fact that I can't, this is ridiculous. That the EA Vice President of, I don't even know what was her Legal and Government Affairs Vice President for Electronic Arts stated that their loot boxes are essentially like Kinder Surprise eggs. I'm lost for words. I thought this was 100% troll, as I said, but it's an official statement from the EA Vice President, Kerry Hopkins, and I'm lost for words. I know EA has a bad reputation. I'm not their biggest fan. I enjoy their games, and I wish they would just bring out Skate 3, but I'm worried that they'd screw that up and make you buy single wheels, all your trucks, and everything would be loot boxed up, and you would even have to buy your shoelaces for your Etnies shoes. You know, you'd have to go full on out and just spend thousands of dollars to get a decent looking board and character and wheels and everything. So I maybe don't want Skate 3. Maybe some other company take it on board. I don't know. But the thing is, EA, they've got a bad reputation, and I feel like they're deliberately trying to make it even worse with statements like this. This is real news right here, and I can't believe it. It feels like April 1st. It feels like someone made this up, but this is coming from PCGamesN.com and a few other sources that are all reliable. This is official statements from the Vice President of Legal and Government Affairs, Kerry Hopkins of Electronic Arts. And I'm lost for words. That's why I'm just rambling. This is ridiculous. EA, get your together. I can't swear, I get demonetized. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please smack the like button if you did, and subscribe if you're a brand new viewer. Make sure that bell icon is on so you get notified when I am uploading new videos. And sorry for the lack of videos in the last few days. I have been quite a lot of pain, and I actually had to travel, which means I'm going to show you guys potentially tomorrow a really awesome video, so stay tuned for that. It's a really cool opportunity I had. But in the meantime, I'm going to go and rest my leg and relax while I edit this video. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.